Ladies and gentlemen, good day and Genus Power Infrastructure Limited Q4 FY23 earnings conference call. This conference call may contain forward-looking statements about the company which are based on the beliefs, opinions and expectations of the company as on the date of this call. These statements are not the guarantees of future performance and involve risks and uncertainties that are difficult to predict. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Kailash Agarwal, Vice Chairman of Genus Power Infrastructure Limited. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Very warm welcome for the Q4 23 earnings calls of Genus Power. Along with me on this call is Mr. Jitendra Agarwal, Joint Managing Director of the company, and SG, our Investor Relations Advisors. The results and investor presentation are uploaded on the stock exchange and company website. I hope everybody has a chance to look at it. During this quarter, which ended on March 31st, 2023, our wholly owned subsidiaries have received letter of awards worth about rupees 2419 crores net of taxes for the appointment as Advanced Metering Infrastructure Service Provider (AMISP) for installation of about 29.49 lakh smart prepaid meters. In total, in financial year 23, the company received robust order inflow of about 3,844 crores net of taxes. The total order book value as on March 31st, 2023 is 4115 crores net of taxes. The execution cycle of the current order book is about, thus it provides favorable visibility from our top line base for financial year 24. The company has participated in tenders worth 27,000 crores. This constitutes RDSS tenders worth 25,000 crores, which is AMISP tenders, and capex mode of 1,050 and conventional meters of 950 crores. We expect robust order inflows to continue in financial year 24 also. The supply chain for semiconductors and other crucial electronic components is quickly getting restored to normalcy, and as disclosed in previous conference call, we expect to generate total revenue of about 1,500 crores in FY24. With much improved capacity utilization, we also expect operating margins to also return to historical levels in FY24. Our working capital cycle is also expected to improve in FY24 as payment terms are better, and going forward most of the business will come through other MICs. The Bihar project is on track, and revenue inflow from this project will start gaining more traction from Q1 FY24 onwards. The Assam project is expected to commence by Q3 FY24. In May 2023, the company has signed a commitment letter with United States International Development Finance Corporation (DFC) to obtain a loan of $49 million to scale up the deployment of electric smart meters across India. In partnership with DFC, we are well poised to become a leading player in the AMIC market. Coming to the result, the sales of Q4 23 remained modest at 202 crores, up 12% as compared to 181 crores in Q4 FY22. A part of our top line is spilled over to the next quarter as the goods were in transit to the end customer. For Q4 FY23, EBITDA stood at rupees 27 crores, up by 42% as compared to 19 crores in Q3 FY22. Profit after tax stood at 13 crores for Q4 FY23 as compared to 11 crores for Q4 FY22, a growth of 14% on Y-on-Y basis. I now welcome you all for the Q&A.
Sure. Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may please press star and 1 at this time. first question is from the line of Mohit Kumar from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Good evening, sir, and congratulations on having a very decent order book, especially what we won in Q4 FY23. So my first question is, sir, what is the name of subsidy you received the order, and how are you looking to fund this before you start the...
Mohit, your voice is not so clear.
Am I audible now?
Yes, this is better.
Yeah. My question was, sir, what is the name of subsidiary where you received the order in Q4, and how are you looking to fund the subsidiary? Have you started any talk with the lenders?
Kailash, you want the name of the subsidiary, if you remember? I don't know. Yeah, I know. Genus Power Solutions and Hybrid Investments. So they are the two subsidiaries, which is Genus Power Solutions Private Limited and Hybrid Solutions Private Limited. These are the two subsidiaries where we have won the order for this Assam project and all. Regarding the funding, company is already working on that. We have some internal accruals also, and then recently, as I have just told that we have received a commitment and a sanction letter from DFC for 50 million, almost 50 million, 49.5 million USD. That will also be coming to the company. And company is also in talks with a few other people and few other investors and banks for funding for the future. So that has also been informed earlier to the investors.
When can we expect the complete clarity? And is it fair to assume that whatever we won in last quarter, Q4, in the subsidiaries, the revenues will start flowing in the standalone company from H2 FY24?
Yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned that you are supposed to, you would like to go back to the historical level EBITDA margin. Is it fair to assume that we are looking at greater than 15% EBITDA margin?
Yes.
Okay. So guidance is 1,500 crore for the FY24 with a 15% EBITDA margin.
Yes. Yeah.
So given that there is a large pipeline, as I rightly said, there is a very, very large pipeline which is likely to get, tendered out in the next coming quarters, maybe this quarter or next quarter. What is your strategy? Do we have enough bidding capacity to participate in a very large tender? As you said, we have participated in 27,000 crore tender. But can we reasonably, what is the kind of, the order inflow you are looking in FY24?
Oh, we have the capacity to participate in these tenders, so that is not a problem. Yes, there have been some tenders where the capacity has been the issue. But most of the tenders, we have the capacity and capability to participate. And the kind of inflow, as these are all RDSS-based tenders, so we are looking for a very healthy order book inflow in next couple of quarters. But I don't want to put any number on that right now.
Okay, sir. Understood, sir. Thank you and all the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question is from Nitin Shah from Shah Investments. Please go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. My first question is, could you please provide information on the current level of capacity utilization?
So currently, the capacity utilization is to the tune of 55-60%.
Okay, all right. And can you offer guidance on any potential partnerships which we may establish with other Indian companies for the purpose of bidding on smart meters?
So for Genus, we don't require any kind of partnership to be done. We qualify as a sole entity, and for any tendering purposes, we don't partner with any Indian company or any company for that matter.
Understood. And sir, could you please provide more details on the statement that part of its Q4 revenue has spilled over to the following quarter due to goods being in transit to the end customer?
So this has been a very normal practice because a lot of inspections are generally done by the electricity board in the second week or third week of the month, and then generally they get delayed in dispatches. So this is a very normal practice. There's nothing abnormal in that.
Okay. Okay. And sir, my last question is, do we anticipate any sort of improvement in either our working capital or our debtor days in FY24?
So I definitely see an improvement in data cycle with this RDSS coming into picture. The whole business model is changing. It's changing for good. So by the end of this financial year, a lot of these legacies, delays from the electricity board should get better.
All right, sir. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question is from Yatin from Fidelity. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Sir, just 2-3 clarifications. First of all, you have signed an LOA of almost 25 billion rupees. So when does this come in our final order book? Or
Yatin, can you please speak a little loudly? I could not hear.
Is it better now?
Yeah, this is better now. Yeah.
Yeah. Sir, just wanted to check the LOA. When does it come to our final order book, and when do we become pick up ramp of this revenue?
The LOA is a final purchase order only.
Okay. And ramp. And
yeah,
when does the revenue recognition?
When it gets ramped up, so all these RDSS guys, they take at least 6 to 8 months to get onto the ground. So there's a lot of pre-work which is to be required to be done before we can get onto the ground. And for the ramp up, practically all these RDSS projects will take almost 10 months from the date of signing of the LOA, 8 to 10 months, where they truly become a ramp up kind of a project.
From quarter 3, you will see, as I told in my opening remark also, Yatin, that from quarter 3, you will see that the new LOA we got in the month of March, we will see revenues coming from that and starting ramping up from that.
And so this is AMSP, right?
Yeah, AMSP, correct.
So now of the 4,000 crore rupees of order backlog, almost 80% is AMSP, right? Is that a fair way to look at your order backlog?
Yes, that's a fair way to look at it, yeah.
So how do we see then our balance sheet for next year? I know we have raised some funding from the American Development Bank, but how do we see our balance sheet for next year? Because there will be some upfronting of capital for these deals, and then we will recover it over the course of the project timeline.
So basically, you will see some increase in that, but not to a very high level. I think this will be the maximum that the company will be looking for this particular year, which we have already taken from the DSP and all. So there will be a lot of internal accruals also, and then right now if you see in our balance sheet and everything that the debtors day and the inventory are very high right now on that. So that will be reducing because the RDSS payment schemes are very good. The payment controls and the other and the meters will be supplying to other AMISP also. The payment terms are also very good there. So there will be a lot of internal accruals coming back from the working capital that has already been engaged right now in the company. So almost you will see there will be increase in the debt. Right now we are a zero debt company or a net debt company. So certainly the debt like this DSP will be seen in the balance sheet, but not at a very high level.
Sir, sorry, just to persist on this. This is on a gross level. Is it fair to assume around 400 to 500 crore rupees of debt next year, because 300 odd crore rupees will be this, and then 200 is existing debt?
Yes, absolutely, not more than that. 500, 600 crores.
Okay, and so
one that on a net worth of 12 crores.
Net worth of 12 crores. Yeah. And sir, one last question and slightly more broad-based. So the total tendering which has happened in RDSS last year is almost 60,000 crore rupees. And if I just take the meter portion of it, that is around, if I take 25% of metering of it, that's around 15 to 16,000 crore rupees of potential pipeline which we have. When do we expect this pipeline to start translating? Are we confident of maintaining our 20% plus market share?
So these numbers will start coming very visibly from third quarter, as rightly said, because most of these orders, and when we say 60,000 crores or 70,000 crores, most of these orders are now getting finalized. A lot of tenders are still in the pipeline. So a lot of action you will see from the third quarter, when these orders which are already being decided or getting decided by this month, or some of them are decided
last month. Most of these projects, the meter supply and the true ramp up will start happening after 7 to 8 months.
Okay. So, let's say because bulk of the ordering happened between January and March, bulk of the tendering, sorry, not ordering, bulk of the tendering which happened between January and March, this will start reflecting after December or after September, right?
After September, orders which are already decided, every order which gets decided takes at least 8 to 9 months for ramp up. So a lot of orders has been decided also. Few of them has been done by us only. So you will see this ramp up and these numbers start flowing in from third quarter.
Okay.
So basically, you can say like that whatever the orders that have come before December 20, in 22, so that you will see coming their effect from first quarter of this year and second quarter of this year. And whatever has come in this year, you will see from third and fourth quarter.
Great, sir. Great. And sorry, just last bookkeeping question here. What would be the cost of debt which we have taken from the American Development Bank? And
I don't have the exact numbers, but it will be lesser than 9%, including all hedging and everything. It is 100% hedged.
Okay. Great, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to participants, please press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Nikhil Abhyankar from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir, for the opportunity. So I want to understand, sir, who are our major competitors in the RDSS tenders, and how do you see the competitive landscape as the orders come along in the H2?
So in RDSS, for this end-to-end AMISP projects, the most aggressive competitors in the market are companies like Adani, Monte Carlo, GMR, IntelliSmart. So there are these 5 companies which are the major competition for RDSS. And for the meters, as a manufacturer, as a supplier, it is primarily Schneider and HP. Hello?
Yeah.
Nikhil, is it good? Yeah.
Yeah. So, and also, you have earlier mentioned that the semiconductor issue is now in the past. So, how confident are we that we won't be facing that specific problem going ahead? And also, apart from semiconductors, what were the major bottlenecks that we faced in the last 1 year? And what is our outlook regarding those in the coming years?
So there were the 2 prime reasons of last couple of years has been very, very slow. Of course, the order offtake all across the country, the order offtake got very slow. And second prime reason, I would say the prime reason was non-availability of the semiconductors, and then because of that, the offtake also became very, very slow. So semiconductor issue is more or less sorted out. It is, I won't say it is completely off, and we are back to those days of 18-19. It's still not that case, but mostly it is sorted out. Still 1 or 2 semiconductors which affect 1 or 2 projects keep happening, but in general, we are out of that issue.
And so, do we have any long-term contract for semiconductor supplies?
So in all these large companies with whom we work for these semiconductors, in general, we have long-term contracts only with them. So if we are following the same process what we used to do earlier.
Okay. And so, how will we use this $50 million funding? Will it be used for working capital, capacity expansion, or anything else?
Mainly for the working capital, which will be used for the AMISP projects.
Working capital. Okay. And just a final question, sir. So, can you just help us understand about the restructuring process and how it is going to help us?
Sorry, which restructuring you are talking about?
Business restructuring process.
I could not understand your question, please. Can you come on?
Sir, this demerger of investment business undertaking from Genus Power.
That's already running since last 1.5 years because of the NCLT bench is not available. That is not happening, and it is just to make Genus as a power purely power play company only. There is these investments are just not adding any value
in terms of the business of the company. So we are just putting it out. The division, that this investment division, we are taking out as a demerger. And this scheme is almost running since last 1.5 years because of the non-availability of the tribunal judges and all, shortage of tribunal judges and all. It is just delayed and all. And I think it will happen in next, say, 1 quarter or like that.
Okay. So then, just a final question. So what was this negative other income on the console level?
So that is basically only the share, the treasury of the company, which holds some listed company shares also and some bonds also, and there is a treasury of the company. So it's just the MTM of that. There is no loss or profit in that. It's just MTM. Because of the MTM, it is showing in consolidated.
Okay, sir. Thank you. That's it. That's all from the side. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you. Any participants who wish to ask a question at this time, they may please press star and 1. Next question is from the line of Ashit Koti. As an individual investor, please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for this opportunity. Just wanted to understand one thing, sir, with regards to execution of 2,400 crores, which is where exactly as outstanding orders, which would be, I suppose, within next 9 to 12 months?
So, as we said earlier, these are 10 key projects which is related to AMISP. So, a lot of execution of these projects will ramp up from 3rd quarter onwards. Otherwise, also we are continuously doing our regular business of non-conventional fleet, and that is continuously going on.
Okay, and if I divide that overall orders into 4 categories, what you mentioned under metering and other subsequent other heads, 4 heads. So all in all, 4 heads are there. So if I have to divide under different heads, what would be how do I bifurcate that amount, or it's not possible?
Which are these 4 heads? 80% MISP, as I told you, and remaining 20%.
No. Okay. Oh, when I said head means just one second. Just one second. Sorry, extremely sorry.
Till that time, you can take any other question. You get ready, please.
Then, basically, sir, do we see ourselves as exporting also, apart from the local, majorly?
So we currently also export. So we currently also do good amount of exports in these things, and we continue to do that. Our export businesses continue to grow.
Okay. Okay. What I was talking about was smart meters, then B2 metering, HT and feeder metering, level energy accounting, and FMS. So if I divide the whole order into these 4 subheads, should I be doing that? And if yes?
No, we should not be doing that, because these subheads are, there is no comparison between the 2 subheads. One can be only 0.05% of the total scheme of the thing. And that's not possible for also. Just we have to understand that we can broadly tell you that 80% is the AMSP and remaining 20% is all other things what we have.
Okay, fine. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any participants who wish to ask a question at this time, they may please press star and 1. The next question is in the line of Srijan Sinha from Future Generali India Life Insurance. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I'm sorry, but we have been disappointed with the kind of revenues that we are doing. We expected better ramp up of revenues, given the kind of ordering that's happening, given the kind of opportunity size that we have. In 2018-19, we used to do about 275-300 crore kind of quarterly top line. We are still significantly away from that kind of number. So how do you see this ramp up happening? So H1 of FY24 again is going to be kind of similar run rate that we are having, and only in H2 that we see significant pickup, or we'll continue to see some bit of pickup in Q1 and Q2 as well, and then the major pickups happens in the later part of the year.
So, as you rightly said, you are disappointed. More than you, we are disappointed. So feeling is mutual. You have to understand the cycle of the business. And first quarter, second quarter, as we have mentioned it earlier also, that a lot of ramp up will happen from the third quarter. Most of these orders are decided in the last quarter of last financial year or third quarter of last financial year, which takes at least 8 to 9 months to ramp up. And most of the electricity boards all across the country are now moving towards AMISP. So the conventional meter buying has also slowed down quite a bit because they won't be requiring it.
Okay.
That is the reason you will see.
No, but here, Sincere, you have to understand that it won't be like that. The next 2 quarters will be like the fourth quarter or third quarter only. There will be certainly a good amount of improvement in these quarters also, first quarter and second quarter, because Bihar project will be ramped up in first quarter and second quarter. Bihar project already we have won last year only, so there will be a good ramp up in Bihar project. So you will be seeing a very good numbers in comparison to third or fourth quarter. But the other projects will be seen in third and fourth quarter. We have given a guidance of 1,500 crores. So you can say that out of that 40% might be happening in first 2 quarters and 60% happening in last 2 quarters. So it won't be like that these first 2 quarters will be like the third quarter or fourth quarter only.
So 40% in H1 implies about 600 crores of revenue in H1. That's about 300 crores a quarter, which is a significant jump from where we are currently. So you have that kind of visibility that we will start doing 300 crores.
Yes, you can see that Bihar project already. I told in my opening remark also that it will be ramped up from quarter 1 this financial year.
Okay. So my second question is, you have mentioned in your presentation that there was some spillover of revenue from Q4 into Q1. Is it possible for you to quantify that? How much has spilled over into Q1?
That it's normally
very normal numbers.
Normally these numbers are 20-25 crores. Where spillover always happens in next quarter. This time it is around 50 crores. So there will be an impact of 25-30 crores in next quarter.
Okay, fair enough.
Normally it's 25 crores always, but this time it is 50 crores. Because that's why there is a revenue lesser revenue of 25 crores from fourth quarter.
Okay. So I mean the delta is about 25 crores.
Yes, the delta is 25-30 crores. Yeah.
Okay. So my second question is with respect to semiconductor situation. Now, I mean, across the industries, if we see, be it consumer durable, be it autos, semiconductor situation has more or less normalized. I mean, it got normalized about 6-9 months back. What is it specific to our industry that is impacting us?
So there is nothing specific to that particular project which you do, because you work on multiple platforms while designing the meter. And sometimes some of the projects, some of the platforms are still not regularized the way they used to be in the year 1890. So that is why, as I said, it is more or less normalized. But yes, few projects are still getting hampered because of it.
Okay. And so my final question is with respect to your balance sheet. There is some bit of spurt in the current borrowings, so the short-term borrowings. Is that because of the Bihar project? And second is, what would be the net debt status as of today? How much is the net debt?
Net debt, I think it must be almost zero net debt as on 31st March.
Mm-hmm. This is including the treasury shares or without excluding the treasury shares?
Shares we don't value for the treasury shares. We just say this is the cash company sitting on.
Okay, so net debt would be zero. So this spurt in the short-term borrowings that has happened on back of...
That is because of this Bihar and the ongoing projects of Assam and all.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Thank you. Anyone who has a question may press star and 1 at this time. Next question is from Vineet Agrawal from SKP Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. So, majority of my questions are answered. Just I wanted to know, can you please provide us the tender participation and to-be participation details which you provide every quarter?
Yeah, I can. So currently, the tenders what we have participated is to the tune of, but these are all RDSS tenders. So these numbers are very, you have to understand the business model. Earlier, when we used to do business, we are participating in the tenders. We can be L1, we can be L2, we can be L3, and the quantities get divided. Here in these RDSS tenders, once we have made the bid, the whole project goes to the L1. So to commensurate your numbers from the number of tenders being participated in the kind of values we have participated, it generally gets very confusing. That is the reason I am very skeptical in taking those numbers.
But my opening remarks, we have already told that it's almost 27,000 crores worth of tenders going on.
Okay. Thank you, sir. That's all from me.
Thank you. Anyone who wishes to ask a question at this time, they may please press star and 1. Next question is from Nikhil Abhinkar from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
So just a follow-up. Can you quantify the amount of losses that they took for the quarter?
Sorry, Nikhil, I could not understand it.
Can you quantify the amount of MTM losses that were booked for the quarter so that we can have an adjusted fact?
I think that's around. I have to check exactly. I don't have the numbers. It's I think 22 crores or something like that. 22 crores. Yeah.
So if we remove that, our other income would have been zero, almost nil.
Almost, yeah. Other income must be 3-4 crores rupees.
3-4 crores.
Yeah, so MTM must be 26 crores or something like that.
Okay.
Other income was 4 crores, yes, if I remember right, yeah. So MTM must be 26 crores. Yes.
Okay, sir. Thanks a lot, that's all.
Thank you. Anyone who wishes to ask a question at this time, they may please press star and 1. Next question is from the line of Akhilesh as an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello, good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Yes.
So you have mentioned the MTM hit. So what is the carrying value of these securities currently?
So basically, the total, the carry value of the securities that we have to check and come back to. I don't have the exact number of for that.
And what would they primarily be? As in, they are shares of what, or bonds of what?
So these
it's a pretty big MTM.
These are the shares of company Genus Power itself, number one, and one other company, Genus Paper. So treasury, there are 2 shares in the treasury, which is of the one the company Genus Power itself, and another company, Genus Paper. And these 2 shares are held by company since last almost 10 years. I think these shares are in the company since last 2013-14, when they came from a merger demerger scheme and all. So these are the 2 mainly shares of the company, which affect on the MTM of the company.
And will these be hived off into the other company through demerger? Or
no, these are not hived off. These are the cash securities only, and these will be in the company only, even after this demerger thing and all.
And since our capital requirements will also go up, we have to fund various projects. Do we plan to hold these securities, or do we plan to encash them?
It's right now. It's too early to comment anything. It will all depend how the things move and how the business comes and everything comes.
Okay. And so second question is, what kind of competitive intensity are you seeing in the bids you are tendering for now? And how confident are you that this margin guidance of 15% could be maintained even beyond FY24, or maybe even be stepped up a bit?
So the competition intensity is there, but at the same time the market is pretty large, and these are very, very technical products. So I am pretty confident that we will be able to maintain this guidance.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Riya Verma from NR Securities. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. So I have a couple of questions. Firstly, how much order inflow can we expect in FY24?
So in FY24, we expect a good order book. As I said earlier also, I don't want to put any number on it. But yes, there are a lot of tenders being quoted. There are a lot of tenders which will be quoted in next couple of quarters. It's a very healthy order book, but I don't want to put a number on that. And just want to clarify on that as I told in opening remark also, that when we have participated in 7,000 crores worth of orders, and there will be many more tenders will be coming. And company has a success as a history of success on that around 15-20%. So basically, but we don't want to put a specific number on that.
Understood. And sir, so the smart metering market is experiencing the arrival of new competitors. So it is pertinent to assess whether the competitive intensity will escalate or not, and what implications may this have on our business.
So as I said, there are two type of tenders, two type of business what we are doing. One is we are quoting as a MISP. One is we are supplying meters to electricity boards and the MISP. So the competition intensity in both the places is almost the same, the way it used to be earlier. The only difference is in MISP there are now much larger players who have come into the foray. So for the metering business competition, we are competing with the all old companies only like HPL, Schneider, Secure Meters. And for the AMISP, yes, a lot of new people have come into the market like Adani, Monte Carlo, IntelliSmart, they are the prime larger companies, GMR. So we are competing with them. So as Genus, since we are playing both the roles, we are competing at both the places.
Okay, sir. And lastly, can you provide more details on the timelines for capex requirements given the extent of the expected growth in the smart metering industry?
So any single project that comes, that has to be completed in 30 months. So basically that depends on right now our order book is like for 4,000 crores. So it always depends on how many more orders or how many more projects are coming to the company, and then on the basis of that, those capex will be decided on.
Okay, sir. Thank you. That answers my question. Thank you and all the best.
Thank you. A reminder to our participants, please press star and 1 to ask a question. Next question is from the line of Nehal Jain from SK Securities. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity. So I have a few questions. Could you share an update on the current status of the bids we have participated in? What are the potential upcoming bids opportunities that we are yet to participate in?
So as we said in the opening remarks itself, that almost 27,000 crores of bids we have already participated. And, for the future to be participated, almost tenders worth 30,000 crores are in the pipeline. So you will see them getting bidded in next 1 quarter to 2 quarters.
Okay, sir. And what is the projected timeline for the company to achieve its previous margin profile of around 16-17%?
We are confident of touching these numbers by this financial year or next financial year, we are 100% sure.
Okay. And the last question, what is the projected revenue growth potential over the next 3 to 4 years? What is your projection for the operating margins of the overall industry and Genus Power in the upcoming years, considering the replacement of traditional meters with smart meters?
Right now, we are not holding numbers for 3-4 years. Just we are talking about 24. So in next call, we can provide you that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Reminder to participants, please press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Naman Agarwal from DOL. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir, for the opportunity. So, sir, how do you see the potential to increase the market share in the future in the meter industry? Hello?
It was not very clear. What I understood is you are asking for market share.
Yeah, market share of meter industry.
Market share of Genus in the meter industry.
Market share in the meter industry. I'm asking, hello?
Sorry, I am unable to follow your question. Something is
not audible right now. Hello?
Hello, yes.
Yeah, am I audible right now?
Yeah, it is better.
Yeah. So how do you see the potential to increase the market share in the future in the meter industry?
So we currently already have a very healthy market share, and the business, the overall industry is going multi-fold. So if we maintain our current market share, I think that will be very good.
Right, sir. So one more. The company has signed a commitment letter with the United States International Development Finance Corporation to obtain the loan of USD 46.5 million. So can you provide some little more details regarding the same?
So basically, it's a loan for 9 years, fully hedged loan, and it will be used for the working capital of AMIC. So that's what we have got.
Okay. So also, can you provide some little more clarity on the operational mechanisms of AMSP business model and its consequently impact on the company's P&L and balance sheet framework?
What operational impact you just want to understand? Because it's a mainly basically what exactly it's a too big question to answer. So what exactly you want to understand? If you can clarify that will be better.
So basically operational mechanisms of AMSP business model. How the business model will impact my balance sheet and P&L in the future.
No, basically it's a OPEX model business where we will be putting all the money initially, and then we will be getting the money back in 90 to 100 installments, monthly installments and all. So initial 40-50%, whatever is the capex will be happening, that will be done by the company, and then the operation we have to maintain all those meters for next 90 months, and our money will be coming on the monthly basis.
Got it, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that would be our last question for today. I now hand the conference back to Mr. Kailash Agarwal for closing comments. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We have a deep knowledge of the domain of the industry, and we can assure you that right now the company is on the right track, and a lot of AMIC business which is coming, and company is totally ready to get this business and getting that business, and we will do very good in the coming times. I assure you that. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Genus Power Infrastructures Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you all for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.